really, here's the thing. I'm only gonna go see like blockbuster type movies with friends,
Yeah,
I guess.
valid. That's
Uh,
valid.
and nothing else. And even still, sometimes I might not go. Like I've seen um a decent amount of Disney movies, just me myself. Like I'm just
I guess.
it's just me. I went to go see what was it, Coco? Saw that by myself.
Wow.
Yeah, and
You live
it's
a
like
sad
sometimes
life, man.
this is enjoyable. I feel like people that can't enjoy going to the movies by themselves are just missing out. You're really missing out.
I guess so. I don't
And
know,
not
man.
every movie is a social experience, or something that I feel like needs to be shared with a lot of people. I don't know. It's just me. I'm chilling. That's all I need.
Fuck, I guess so, man. I don't know. I think it's fun, especially I think there's an aspect to it to where, let me put it this way. I forced a group of people who were not ready for it to go see Midsummer.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And that was fun because
Interesting.
it was not what they were expecting. And it was weird.
Really?
And I like doing that. I think that's fun, in my opinion.
I don't know. Like Midsummer, I feel like it's something I probably could have seen by myself.
I could have seen it by myself too, but
I
I just happened to be like out and about with a group of people, and I've been wanting to see the movie. I was like, I know this is going to be some weirdo shit based solely on obviously having already seen Hereditary.
Right.
So I'm like, this is going to be a little more off the wall. I'm going to force them to sit through this. This is going to be great. So I did it, and it was fun. It was a good time.
All right. Well, you know what? To each their own. Hello, and welcome back to the 32nd?
Yep.
32nd episode of
That's
Neil and
the
the Lens
number.
podcast. Look at that.
32. Holy shit.
Yes.
That's 20 short of a whole year's worth of episodes. That's insane.
It is 20 more weeks and we'll have a year's worth of episodes.
Well, I mean, we're going to have a year's worth when was the first episode? It was late January.
Yeah, but
That's
we haven't
all.
been going for.
Yeah,
Man,
it's been
you just interrupted the whole intro. I didn't even get to do the
Whatever. Do it then. Do it.
the show that threads together music, movies, and TV. I am here as always with my co-host Kevin,
What's up? How we doing?
and I'm Noah,
Yes, he is Noah. In fact, indeed.
and we're back to talk about all the things that we talk about every week.
Yes.
How you doing?
I am doing just all right. I'm in a bit of a funk lately, like work-wise, not gonna lie. I just came back from California I came back Sunday night, but I got back on Monday. And yeah, I just have not been wanting to do work at all. Like, I'm just like, fuck, man. Just my brain's still on vacation mode. And then obviously we have the JPEG Mafia concert this weekend. So I'm like, let me just fast forward to that, So
Gonna be amazing.
Hey, which by the way, guys, if you're watching this on release or even Saturday morning, if you are going to the Houston show, come say hi, That would be super dope. Would be nice to see some peeps.
We got fans out there like that? That'd be
Hey,
wild.
you never know. You never know, man.
I mean, we'll see. Time will tell.
Time
but
will
yeah,
indeed
so
tell.
excited.
You're like, oh my god, you're those guys. You're the guys from the podcast.
The guys that just sit there and talk about stuff that nobody cares about all day. Like,
What do you mean? A lot of people
That's
care
me.
about this shit. There's so
A lot of
many.
people
Why do you think
care
there's
about
so many pop culture content podcast creators?
This is true. I'm just like, am I interesting enough?
I think we are. I think we're solidly interesting.
All right, I'll take it.
We just
I'll take
gotta get better at advertising. That's like the main thing.
We'll see if we have fans at this
Yeah.
concert. I'm excited just to go. Finally
yeah,
went to
no.
my first concert since COVID.
Oh yeah,
Last
that was
week.
fun.
Saw
How was
Phoebe
that?
Bridgers, and it was amazing. Outside venue.
That sounds like it sucks though. Was it hot?
I'm not a big fan of outside venues. It honestly wasn't as hot as you would think. Here's the thing.
Really?
The doors literally opened at 9. Show didn't start till 10.
Oh
Phoebe
shit, that
didn't
is
even
so
come on
late.
till yeah, it was a late night show.
Okay.
Phoebe didn't even come out till 11:15 because she had an opener.
Right.
So yeah, the show ended. Show went probably till almost 1.
Shit.
So it was a late.
Yeah, that is late. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Um,
that is super late. I guess
but
that's good because then it wouldn't be nearly as hot. But if I
right,
remember, Austin was supposed to be like really hot this weekend. I love
really, it was
California weather.
honestly some great weather.
I love
I mean,
California
probably
weather
not as
though.
good as California,
It was amazing.
but
It was actually cold, and I was not prepared for that. That was the one problem. Like
that's a great problem to have.
60 in California is not the same as 60 in Texas. I will tell you that much.
Yeah, yeah.
60 in California is fucking freezing. But
I wish I could have been in that.
yeah. Well, hey, I would love to do an outdoor show in the cold. That would be, honestly, I'd be completely fine with that. Because at the end of the day,
Mhm.
you get your jacket on, even without a jacket, you just have like 100 motherfuckers with their body weight. That's all you need. Or body heat,
That's it.
not body weight. You know what I meant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With their
I
body
don't
heat.
think I've. No, I don't think I've been to a show that was outside in the cold.
Yeah, the closest one I could
Just
think
yet.
of, it wasn't even outdoors. I saw Vince Staples I
Mm.
want to say it was in February of like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an indoor venue, but we were all waiting outside and it was cold. So there
Oh
was
yeah, I've
that.
definitely had my fair share of moments like that. Those November shows, they get.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
I mean, November is usually not that bad. It just depends. It usually starts to get really cold after Thanksgiving. Like, and the only reason why I know that is because I have.
Guess.
The only reason why I know that though is because I have vivid memories of it just being extremely cold come
Mm,
Black Friday. Like because I would go to
yeah,
I would go to the outlets in San Marcos every year for Black
got
Friday,
you.
and it
Couldn't be
was
me.
fucking cold.
I'm
there.
not a Black Friday shopper.
See, I
Not
enjoy.
in stores. I'm not going out with those wild people.
See, but here's the thing. I feel like we've talked about this before. If not, I was talking about it with someone else. But I feel like at the like outlet malls, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, Black Friday shopping. It's really not. You may have some lines, but usually people aren't that crazy. Where it's crazy is the big box stores like Walmart and Target, where everyone's trying to get a TV. That shit is
Mhm.
insane. And that shit is a non-starter. I will not do that. But if I go to like the outlet mall, it's like I'm cool. You know, it's whatever. It's a walk around. It's
Alright.
very like choose your own adventure, go at your own pace. I think it's pretty chill.
Mm, interesting.
I'll
Okay.
take you. I'll take you this Black Friday.
I will not be here, so
Ah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
yeah, I'm never around for.
That's right.
But
I
you
don't
have
know.
fun. You have fun.
I'll kidnap you. It's fine.
And speaking of fun, let's go ahead and start talking. That was a horrible segue,
Yeah.
but
Dude, that was a me segue. What?
it was.
That
It was
was a
you
me
segue.
segue. I thought you had it there. I thought you had something there, but it's fine. Anyway, fun. You know what? I can work some fun off of that. Fun things are coming in the fact that we will soon be finally getting the Silk Sonic album coming out November 12th.
Nah, that was a clunky segue. That was a clunky segue.
It was clunky, but hey, you didn't give me a lot to work with.
You should have just let it go then.
You know what?
But
Fine.
anyway,
We're working with it. Fuck, man. But
we got a new Silk Sonic album coming.
yes, we have been anticipating this since they announced it was a thing. We thought, when are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get it in the
That
summer?
was
Yeah,
March,
we thought.
right?
Yeah, it had to have been March. And then we're like, okay, we're gonna get it early summer. And then summer hit, and it's like, okay, it's gonna be late summer. And then August hit, and it's like, the fall. This could be fall.
And then they said, and
They
then
said-
they came out and they were like 2022.
Yeah,
early
probably not till
2022.
2022. And I'm like, fuck, okay, I guess. That sucks, but whatever. And then on his birthday,
nowhere.
Bruno Mars announced November 12th, which November is looking insanely stacked.
Yeah. You can see, it's very clear why they chose the 12th and
Yes.
not any day after that because
Well, because
obviously Adele
November
is coming.
5th is who's November 5th? I'm trying to remember. There's a couple of drops then. I want to. When
On
is Adele?
Adele's the weekend after this.
Okay, yeah, that's
November 19th.
right, right. There's some stuff that's coming on the 5th, but yeah, it is insanely stacked and shit. I am excited to see how well this does. Obviously, they have been
They'll get
hyping
a
this
week.
up for a while, and I
I
mean,
mean,
I'm a little worried that the momentum
has died a
is,
bit.
yeah, it's definitely died a bit. Obviously, Leave the Door Open was huge. And I mean, Skate didn't nearly perform as well, so
Right.
it's not necessarily a good look in that direction, but I mean, we'll just
You
see.
know, you know what I think they need to do,
What do they need to
and
do?
I don't. It's tough because it puts them in a weird situation now. But I think they need to drop another single. I
Oh
think they
yeah.
need to drop another single,
Oh yeah, most
even though
definitely.
the album is only 9 tracks, right? And we already have 3 tracks.
Only 9?
It's only 9 tracks. 3 of them are already out. Um,
Fuck.
so if they drop another track, we've heard almost half of the album already.
Yeah.
But
Well, no,
I
we've
think
heard a third of it.
we have 4 tracks already
Oh shit.
because
Oh
we have the
yeah, because
intro.
the intro one. Okay. Oh
Yeah,
shit. Yeah, that is almost half. Fuck.
yeah. So it's
They need to
difficult.
build up some hype though.
They have to build up some hype. I don't see, however, how they do it. I don't see how they do it without dropping a single, or if they just hope, especially because Adele is coming the week right after them, and Adele's about
Yeah.
to drop a single at the end of this week, tomorrow, right? She's dropping her single
I think
tomorrow.
so, yeah.
So the Adele hype train is going to be full steam ahead.
Yeah.
Um, and even though they're dropping a week before, all eyes are going to be on her, and they've
Exactly.
got, unfortunately, because they took so long to drop, they're going to drop, and Adele's going to come the week after, and
Everyone's gonna already
I
forget.
feel like, yeah, it's just going to be swept under the rug, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate because I know they were talking about, oh, we worked so hard on this, and that's why we really want to, you know, stretch it out and milk these songs because we worked hard on each one and we need to stretch it out. But y'all stretch it out so long
Mm-hmm.
that now, you're put in this kind of horrible position where no matter what happens, you're probably going to be forgotten about because Adele's
Yeah.
coming back after a super long hiatus.
Yeah, that's really tough because like there's no way to kind of counteract that.
No,
Like,
that's like, yeah, Adele is literally like we talk about how Drake dominates the charts. Like Adele is,
the charts.
yeah, she's
Like,
just like that. Cause like we were talking about just the week before with Drake and Michael Jackson, like Adele is that one person that has appeal across every demographic.
exactly.
Like she's unstoppable. She's unstoppable.
She really is.
And
There's
of course, there's an off chance that maybe her music doesn't hit as well, but I doubt it.
yeah, it's Adele, man. That's you kind of can't assume that it's not going to do well. She's
Yeah.
like one of the most successful, biggest fucking artists in the goddamn planet, for Christ's sake. Like can't
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough that she's almost too big to fail.
And you know what? After that, I was like, okay, no, after Adele drops, no other big artist is going to drop.
Yeah.
That made me be like, okay, so we're not getting a Kendrick album this year.
Yeah, there's no way. Someone tried to lie and say that SZA was gonna drop. Like they made a
SZA's not
whole
dropping.
album cover and everything.
I saw that.
And I was like, "There's no way." And then I went through the comments, and then I was like, "Yeah, that's fake." I'm like, "All right, fuck you
Yeah.
guys."
No. we're after Adele drops, I don't think we're getting any other big artist drops this year.
Yeah,
Also because then we're gonna start going into December and we rarely get big artist drops then anyway.
exactly.
But I think a lot of people were holding out for
Yeah,
Kendrick drop sometime in November possibly, but I think it's gonna be 2022 now, which
yeah.
is like, man,
And
this
actually,
throws our whole Super Bowl thing into question because that would
yeah,
force him to drop in either January or
January, which is
February.
terrible. February is a fine time to drop.
Yeah. But when is the is Super Bowl early in February or
It's like mid-February, I want to say. Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
rough. I mean, like, it's not like he's necessarily above dropping in February because obviously we got the Black Panther album, but that was just because obviously the movie came out in
Right.
February.
Right.
Um,
I
shit.
don't know. I
And
don't know.
also,
It's
like,
not
okay, this is just like a weird thing that I saw because I was looking up Adele, but like, she received 10 million streams yesterday on Spotify. Yesterday, off no new music.
literally just off people listening to her and hype that
Yeah,
she's building for her new record.
there's
She's
just
unstoppable.
there's no way. It's February 13th. Is so there's 1 week that Kendrick can drop in February. So I guess we're not getting it.
I guess we're not getting
I guess we're
the
not getting it before Day in Vegas. I guess we're not
everything
getting
we
it before.
said in the last episode.
Throw that out. Throw that out.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter
That's done.
anymore. I mean, hey, who knows? Kendrick could pull a ballsy ass play and just be like, fuck it, I'm still gonna drop anyway. Which would be insane and would hurt him more than it would help him.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be cool. We'd get new Kendrick music.
I mean, it would be cool. It's just like, hey, I'm not expecting anyone to.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really, really interesting to see how how her numbers are, and now compared to what they've been before, because things have changed so much since the last time she dropped. Like
Yeah.
streaming has become even more powerful because, and the way I know this is because whenever she dropped 25.
Hmm.
She dropped Hello. I bought that song on iTunes.
Shit.
So that kind of gives me like a frame of reference for just how different the music industry was. That the fact that like buying a song on iTunes was even a thought that I had, you know?
Yeah. But like, I guess in thinking about that and like kind of bringing it back to the Michael Jackson and Drake thing, I mean, just because of how commercially successful she's been without streaming, or like not without streaming, because obviously her music is streaming right now,
Right.
but before streaming, imagine how successful she's going to be now with streaming. Now, when people
Right.
don't have to go out of their way to go buy a song, and there's still going to be people that will go buy it, you
Right.
know? So,
I mean, that is true. That
yeah,
is true. It'll
so
be
I mean, I don't fucking know. It's going to be insane to see because, yeah, this is really going to be her first album since like streaming took off, I guess,
right.
to say the
Because I
least.
mean,
Because
obviously, what was that? 2015,
2016,
2016?
yeah, around that
Yeah.
time,
Like streaming was
it was there,
still
but
there.
it wasn't. It
It's not
wasn't
nearly to
necessarily
the
the
level that it
way
is
to
now.
go yet. Like it was still
Right.
fairly in its infancy. I don't even think we got Apple Music at that time. I don't think we got Apple Music until 2017 ish.
Yeah, I don't think Apple Music existed. I had a Spotify.
Yeah, me too. I was using it. Apple Music
Yeah.
launch date 2015. Wow, we are horribly wrong.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, shit.
But I mean, that was still pretty early. Like I don't know. Like I feel like once you get to like um I feel like 2016 is really kind of when streaming started. 2016, 2017.
Yeah, that's when it started being adopted more and more, I feel.
Right. Because I think then you started having like that was when the big thing was like exclusives. So you would have your Apple Music exclusives and
Yeah.
your
Title
uh
exclusives.
title exclusives. I remember Coloring Book. I believe Coloring Book. Yeah,
Mhm.
Coloring Book was Apple Music
Apple
exclusive
Music,
for a
yeah.
little bit. Blonde was Apple Music exclusive. So it's like, yeah, yeah. And Adele's album dropped in 2015.
Yeah.
So
I just checked November 2015.
yeah. So it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see how it does. I'm also interested to see how the Silk Sonic album does. I will be like, the album's gonna go triple platinum in my bedroom regardless. But
I
like,
mean, that's true.
I I don't know how well it'll do.
In everyone else's
The
bedrooms.
longevity that it'll have,
Yeah,
and
that's
also
that's
because
really the
they've lost
thing.
hype.
I think I think Bruno Mars himself has enough star power to sustain himself. I think this could debut at number 1 and sit in the top 5 for a decent bit.
I could see it sticking in the top 5, depending on they're gonna need a couple
Taylor.
more hits. They're gonna need a couple more hits
I think
on that
Taylor's
for sure.
dropping the week before. I think that's what it is. Either
She
that or
is.
like very closely,
She's
because
dropping
it's
like
not the
the
same week as
Taylor's
Adele. It's
version
the
something.
So there's that they have to compete with.
Yeah.
It's a tough call.
I feel
We'll
like
see.
because I feel like Taylor won't be too big of a deal only because it's
Yeah, it's just the
a re-release.
re-recordings,
Yeah.
but it's still Taylor. That's like the big thing at the end of the day. So they're still fighting an uphill battle to debut at number 1, but I think they'll definitely after Adele comes out. I mean, obviously that's just gonna wash. That's gonna smoke on all your top 5s. All right,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's
Will.
just gonna clear shit out. So, I mean, hey, we'll have to see what happens from there. And I
We
mean,
will.
we'll see how Adele's holding up in the new era of music. We'll see.
We'll find out soon.
That we will. But fingers crossed for Silk Sonic, hoping it does well. Definitely excited to hear it and excited to hear the Adele as well. Yeah, that's pretty much how we're feeling on that.
Sure.
For sure. So, getting into some more record breaking news, it has just been announced that Squid Game, the Netflix original, is Netflix's biggest ever series launch, which is huge. That is a very, very big deal. And we can talk, we're going to talk about what that could mean for Netflix going forward. So let's go ahead and get into this article a bit. Squid Game, a fictional drama from South Korea, is Netflix's biggest series ever at launch. The streaming company exclusively told CNN on Tuesday. Exclusively, I've seen other reports of it.
Well, CNN broke it, you know.
They were, yeah. The dystopian series, in which contestants who are deeply in need of money play deadly children's games to win cash prizes, has been viewed by 111 million accounts since debuting on Netflix September 17th, which is crazy. That is so long ago. That's nearly a month ago. But
yeah,
dang, 111 million accounts. And that's, again, like we've talked about this time and time again, that's not counting the amount of people who have shared it, who share their accounts, like separate profiles. It's just individual accounts. Right. So, I mean, this could be upwards of 150 to even maybe 200 million people have seen it.
Possibly.
Exactly. And especially kind of, we're going to get into this a little more later, but like it being a foreign language show, it having a different and broader appeal overseas as well. So like, and obviously it had such insane appeal here in the States too, because obviously we've been seeing memes and just general content about it. So, I mean, it's kind of got that double whammy there. To give that number some context, Netflix announced earlier this year that 82 million households watched Bridgerton in the first 28 days following its Christmas debut. This was originally the first or the biggest Netflix show prior to Squid Game's coming out. Squid Game surpassed that number in a shorter amount of time, which is insane. Series is number 1 on Netflix top 10 list in 94 countries around the world. This platform's first ever Korean series to reach number 1 in the United States. The numbers speak to the sheer size of Squid Game's popularity and the speed at which it took off. But Netflix and all streaming service ratings data comes with some important caveats. Let's get into that. For starters, these numbers are from...
getting into what I was thinking about saying.
Yeah. These numbers are coming from Netflix itself and have not been vetted by any outside sources. Also, that $100 million figure doesn't mean everyone watched the series from start to finish. Also important. But I don't necessarily think that that's as important of a metric.
Only look at the next sentence, though.
It is based on Netflix metric of accounts watching at least 2 minutes.
Yeah. Which
2 minutes
says a lot. 2 minutes is how much they're counting for a viewing of this series.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I feel like that's where, and a lot of people have critiqued Netflix for the statistics that they release, because
they're often fluffed up.
There's no way of knowing, like, this is Netflix just telling us this is it. It's not like with other networks and stuff, you have like Nielsen ratings, so it's like a separate entity that is reporting these the numbers. This is just Netflix could be telling us anything. Not to mention, we got
Netflix 8 billion people watching our show.
Exactly. So, and not to mention, even if we do go by the statistics they're giving us, this is still only based off of people watching 2 minutes of the show. 2 minutes?
I think, although I will say, I think the amount of people that are like on that lower end is probably fairly minuscule. I will say, though.
Really? I don't know.
I mean, of that $100 million number, or 100 million, what? 100 million people number, I would say at least 60% watched half. Half or more.
Yeah, probably. Like, I mean, I think a decent chunk of those people probably did. I would love to see obviously it probably still wouldn't be completely accurate, but I would love to see a breakdown of, like, by episode.
Yeah.
How much? Because I feel like you would see a substantial drop off probably between episode 1. I would also like to see just the stats for episode 1 and how many people are making it through that entire episode, because I don't think that first episode, nothing, like, you don't really get to anything.
Yeah, it's a bit of a slow starter
until you get to red light, green light.
Yeah, that's
like the actual game.
That's like 70% of the way through the episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would definitely be an interesting metric to see as well.
Yeah. So we always have to take Netflix statistics with a grain of salt.
Netflix dropped the YouTube analytics. Show us the viewer retention rate.
I need it. I do not doubt, though, that Squid Game is probably their biggest show.
Yeah. And especially if you're talking about having watched 2 minutes of the series, that's probably how they've been measuring the results.
I mean, that's how they've been measuring everything. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is still a bigger show. And I definitely do think that regardless, even if you, let's say, within maybe 5% or like maybe a 10%, because like I said, I think a lot of it, that 2 minute caveat and the sharing of accounts kind of deal, I think those counterbalance one another.
Maybe.
I think to a decent degree. Honestly, everyone I know shares fucking Netflix accounts. I don't.
This is true. I don't know. Do they mean, when they mean accounts, like, do they just mean like
that means that just single accounts?
Because I don't know. I feel like they would. That doesn't seem like it would make a lot of sense. I don't know, but maybe
you got to keep in mind what is now. I got to find out what's Netflix's user base. Like, how many users does Netflix actually have? Netflix total subscribers. Yeah, they have 209 million. As of Q2 2021, Netflix has roughly 209 million global paid memberships, an increase of 16
Okay.
million from the same period last year. And I will say, I do think that they actually increased in subscribers due to the popularity of this show. I
Yeah.
think I saw something
That
like
is
that.
still really interesting to me because
Yeah, because
for some reason that
111
makes
million,
me think,
that makes me doubt that more now, that it's just
yeah, that's what I'm
individual
saying.
accounts.
Because that means that over half of Netflix subscribers watch this show. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot. So now I'm like,
I feel like
press
it might be
triangle to doubt.
profiles.
It might be.
Yeah, because that would be a crazy statistic.
Netflix, just stop lying.
But yeah, that's just the thing is like, I don't know. I feel like that 2 minute thing is kind of important because it's just like, okay, say people watch 2 minutes of Squid Game,
Yeah,
right?
because I'm
And
trying to think what
decide
happens in the first 2 minutes. Because like,
not much.
yeah, it's like
Not
the
much.
ATM scene, and probably just through that.
Yeah.
Actually, no,
And
because it's like, isn't it the scene with his mom first? I'm
I
trying to
don't
be
even remember
vague
how
as
the show
shit.
starts.
Yeah, I'm trying to be vague as
Um,
shit.
No,
But
actually, the first 2 minutes would probably be it opens up explaining what
the
Squid
game,
Game is.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not 2 minutes. That's like a minute probably. And
I mean, that's probably a minute, but
yeah,
still, it's like, okay, people watch 2 minutes. Cool. What if then they get
they're like, oh, this is
25
boring.
minutes into the episode, nothing like too gripping has happened,
But
and they
25
go,
minutes is a substantial
I don't want to
amount.
watch this.
That's still a
Yeah,
substantial
but
amount of
I don't
invested
know if
time.
I would say it's enough to. I don't know if I'd be like, okay, that let's count this person as a viewer. Like I feel like because it like conflates the numbers,
Yeah.
right? And so like I'm pretty sure Nielsen, like whenever they look at their network rankings, are probably looking at people who are fully watching it.
Yeah, like
Um,
retention rate and whatnot.
right? So it's kind of like I don't know. Netflix. That's just a thing. We cannot completely trust Netflix
Obviously.
because it's like, what if someone is watching Squid Games? They decide, I don't really like it that much. They've stopped watching it. But then the people that watch Bridgerton are like, oh, this is enjoyable. Let me watch the whole first episode and then keep watching more. So we don't know. We don't know.
But here's the one thing I will say about that. And this is obviously has to do with what's that term called? Feedback loop, like where like you are surrounded by your echo chamber of
right.
the people who think and act the
and
same way.
And you're just hearing
you
everything back. Yeah.
I've been seeing so much shit about Squid Game on the internet.
No, yeah, a lot of people.
I have never seen anyone talk about Bridgerton.
Okay,
never.
Well, I've definitely seen lots of people talk about Bridgerton.
I've never seen anyone. And look, maybe that just goes to show that
I feel like we run in different circles.
I want to say maybe I run in normie circles. No, because you know what? I think I run in like a lot nerdier circles than you do.
Yeah, I would say that is probably because you're more tapped into like, gamer sides of
gaming, tech, and like shit like that, and just like general online culture, whatnot.
Yeah.
So that makes sense there, but it's definitely been a lot. I mean, you can't lie and say you haven't seen more about Squid Game than you have about Bridgerton.
I think the reason that I've seen more about Squid Game, because here's the thing. So you're tapped into like online, like that type of stuff. I'm very tapped in to like entertainment, like on my feed. Like it's just like lots of like these statistics and stuff are like constantly popping up for me. So like, I think the reason that Squid Game is, I see more of that is because it's very memeable. So there's a lot of stuff you can take from that. Yeah, it has a ton of meme potential and
always bringing it back to the memes. Memes are number one marketing.
Exactly. They are. So it's hard to escape that. Because there's even just that one that's always circulating of Gi-hun where he's like smiling and then like doing the sad face.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I think that makes its online presence larger than something like Bridgerton. But Bridgerton definitely had that huge audience.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
did.
I didn't hear about it.
It's
If
big.
I didn't
Also,
hear
like I
about it,
said,
then it
it's
doesn't
from
exist.
exactly. It's from Shonda Rhimes, creator of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
Like it had it had that noise.
I
Um,
guess so. I don't know. I think because here's the thing. I like to, now to your point that you're more tapped into the entertainment stuff. I would like to think I'm pretty tapped into just like the everyday peeps,
mm,
and like what they're like talking about. I sound so fucking old saying this,
you're
but
like I'm tapped into people that don't do anything with their day. Um,
I
I
guess.
don't know. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I think that there are a lot of people watching this show. And but you're also if you were tapped I feel like if you were tapped into everyday people, you would have heard about Bridgerton.
But no, I don't think that's the
Because
case
it was
though.
one of their biggest shows. It was the biggest show before this.
I don't know, man. Probably with old people. That's probably what it was.
No, definitely not with old people.
I don't know,
I think it
man.
had actually one of those things where it's across all demographics because tons of young people were watching it because it's the soapy whatever.
I don't know,
Like I
man.
said, creator Grey's Anatomy.
I don't know, man. Streets aren't talking about Bridgerton, so
Your streets aren't talking about Bridgerton. This man here.
listen.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
They're both very, very, very popular shows.
But regardless, my point is I think that Squid Game's popularity is undeniable, especially in comparison to Bridgerton. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with meme potential, sure. But I
Mm.
think it's been a lot more in the general cultural conversation than Bridgerton was when it came out.
Maybe.
I think so.
It's
I think so.
it has more of I think it is in the conversation more, but I think it is because they're just very different shows. They're very different shows.
No, they
Squid
are
Games gives
definitely
you a lot more to talk about because there are wild things happening in the show.
right. And
Um,
you know what? It's the same thing with Tiger King too.
yeah. Um, it is very similar, and I think because Tiger King is one of those things where okay, they're one going back meme
Meme,
potential.
exactly.
Um, two, it's just a wild show.
Yeah.
Anytime you get a wild show, people are gonna be talking about the wild things that happen on it. Bridgerton is just a soap opera, essentially. Just a soap.
Boring.
Oh, didn't need that. Um, but it's just yeah. So there's going to be less to kind of talk about in that area. So I think that is maybe why Bridgerton is less talked about online,
Hmm.
but still being watched quite a bit. Um, yeah, that's
Okay.
what I think.
That's fair. I'm still gonna say that is probably a lot more popular.
It may be. It may be. I think it's just it is very hard to trust Netflix numbers.
I
Um,
still think that your fucking whataboutism about like just I think the 2 minute metric works the same way across all of them. I think it would apply the exact
hmm,
same way to Bridgerton because I think you're gonna have both groups in
I
within
think
both shows. Like to your point
that's
of
definitely
watches
possible.
2 minutes and is like and then checks out and it's not for me, but that counts as a view.
Hmm.
And the one that watches it all the way through and like it's you're
One
gonna have
thing
both groups in both.
I will say though, I feel like to Bridgerton's advantage though, because the I would say the majority of that 111 million figure that Netflix is giving us is probably American.
Oh yeah.
And the one thing that Bridgerton has on its side is that it is an American show. People
Yeah.
are going to give an American show more time than they would a Korean show. That's just the way
Mm,
Americans are.
yeah.
That's just what it is. Um, so I think in that for that reason, people would be more likely to give up on Squid Games earlier than they would Bridgerton.
I guess you could say that.
That's just how I'm thinking. Like I
That's
think it
that's a
takes a
fair
lot.
point.
Yeah, it's gonna take more to get people invested in a Korean show than it would to be in an American show. For
Not if you're
Americans
my
at
mother,
least.
apparently.
Yeah, for Americans. For Americans.
Yeah. But it's I guess that makes sense. Again, I still think it's just probably more popular. Regardless. I think you could
It
definitely take a lot of
it
those into consideration, but
yes.
I think it is.
And it may be.
Regardless of Netflix often opaque accounting of its show's popularity, the important context is that the streaming giants' competition is growing fiercer by the day, which is so insane. There's so many cropping up. And Squid Game
Mm,
shows Netflix remains on top for a reason. Blah, blah, blah. You know the whole drill.
yeah.
And I guess now to your point about it being a Korean show versus an American show, I think this does spell some interesting things as to what we could see from Netflix going forward. I think that the popularity of non-English content is starting to grow, and I think generally in that space we're starting to see more of that. Obviously, what was it? I guess a year ago or a year or two ago, I can't remember exactly the time frame, but when Parasite won Best Picture at the Oscars, that was obviously not a mainstream popular film, but within film circles, that was very huge. And
Mm,
then we also have just even on Netflix, trying to think it's called Money Heist in English. I'm trying to remember. I think it was
yeah.
called La Casa de Papel in
Yeah, it is.
Spanish. Like that was an insanely popular show. Maybe
Yeah.
not
And
to this
it's been a
extent.
very
Yeah,
it's
it's
I'm pretty sure it's one of their top 10
yeah, no,
like all
it's one
time.
of their most popular shows. So obviously non-English content, there is a audience for it. And I think we may start to see a little bit more of that sort of content going forward out of Netflix. We'll have to
Yeah,
see,
we
obviously.
could.
But I
I
think,
think oh, what were you going to say?
yeah, I was gonna say, I think, and not to make a generalization, I think Korean content in general has a very large audience in America. Because obviously
Oh,
you
yeah.
have
Without a doubt.
The K-pop fans, K-drama fans. It's already insanely popular in the States and in other countries as well. You know, and I think
I
a lot of
mean
that
that
obviously coming from K-pop's popularity, but
right.
I think definitely it would be a lot more interesting to see, I mean, other foreign language content as well. I mean, obviously you have anime, but even just like maybe regular J dramas gaining some
Mhm.
popularity or Netflix investing in some of those.
Right. Yeah, I mean I think um the like Netflix has their kind of hit show. So I think like you're saying like yeah, like Korean stuff is huge in America. Also just like Latin American stuff is really big cuz
Yeah,
obviously you've got people like Bad Bunny just coming in and like blowing up and just like that sort of Latin sound kind of taking over. Like
exactly. Like
obviously
those are the
I
two big factors.
right. So I think we could start to see more content. The thing is I'm super jaded. Like I'm so jaded and I'm just like I don't know. I think people will definitely like people do take to foreign language content, but I think it's very particular. Um
Hmm.
so and I even look at just like how many people are probably not probably, but how many people are watching Squid Game with an English dub, you
Yes.
know? Um
And there's
so
been a
it's
lot of
like
discourse about that too.
yeah. And you know, part of me is like, okay, so are people when you do that, it's like are you're not necessarily coming for foreign content,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, you're just like you that's still not something people can completely fathom. And of course, like obviously there are probably people that like are just I don't know. I mean, there's a small amount of people that probably just have to,
Oh yeah,
you
no,
know, do
obviously there's
English dub. Like I'm not trying to be like ableist or anything, but like
of course, yeah, exactly.
um but like the large majority of people using English dub are just doing it because they don't want to have
I
to
don't want to
read.
read my show.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one line I've always seen, and it's like the Bong
Um,
Joon Ho quote right here.
yeah. And so I don't know. I part of me is just like I'm really jaded, and I'm just like, people don't really care about foreign content. Like they don't care. They don't care. Um,
I think that's a bit
it it
cynical. I
it
think that's a
is it is, and I know people do care to see it. Um, but it's like if Netflix is like, all right, we're gonna go all in on Korean content now. It's like, are they going to see the same type of reception
Oh no, I
that
doubt. I think this is
you know?
definitely the exception rather than the rule, but it's
Right.
starting to spell out a larger trend in the entertainment industry in general.
Yeah.
Obviously, the popularity of Korean content as a whole is growing and booming, and having a show, because obviously K dramas have been super popular in the
Right.
States, but nothing to this degree.
Mhm.
Nothing
Right.
to the extent with which this has dominated the cultural conversation. And even Parasite was nowhere near this big.
No, absolutely
And
not.
Parasite is like the biggest example I could think of like a Korean film like being popular among American audiences.
Yeah.
So it's tough to say, but I think over the next couple years we'll start seeing some more. And like I said, it is indicative of the entertainment industry as a whole, I would say, because
Right.
of just how popular it's getting. And like I said, a lot of that probably has to do with just how popular K-pop has gotten. And just
No. No.
kind of okay, people who are into K-pop, they go down that sort of rabbit hole. It's like, okay, what other not to be weird about it, but like what other stuff does this country have to offer? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like shit like that. And I think you could say the same thing for Latin American and Spanish content as well, because obviously a lot of people getting into reggaeton and shit like that. And then, okay, let me get into some telenovelas and whatnot. You know?
Yeah. For sure. And I think there are always those like I don't know, just those things that get people interested in wanting to go and dig in a little more. So I think it's definitely interesting to see people respond to content like this. And yeah, I think there is a market for people that are interested in seeing what other countries have to offer. I'm hoping that this this is kind of something that we only see grow, which I think we probably will.
I think it will.
Um,
I know you're jaded, and yeah, obviously I'm always going to be a proponent of watching content in the languages originally intended to be
sure.
presented in, obviously, and just having the subtitles, even though obviously the subtitles have some mistranslation errors on
Mhm.
Netflix's part, and that's a whole thing. But,
Right.
and obviously, again, like you mentioned, not to be ableist, if there is some sort of reason, whether it's like, I think, like, I guess dyslexia would be an issue with that when it comes to reading and
Hmm.
whatnot, or any other sort of issues, um, then yeah, English dub, go for it. Enjoy the content. That's all on you. But
Right.
again, the Bong Joon Ho quote, the 1 inch subtitles, it's really not that hard. And like,
It's not.
and that whole, oh, I don't want to read the show. It's like you have peripheral vision for a reason. You can see a decent bit, and like if
Hmm.
you like, I'm sorry, if you have to like look down and read and you can't see everything else, you're sitting too damn close. Scoot the fuck back a
Yeah,
bit.
it's not
Like you
nearly
can
as
see the
difficult as
whole
y'all make it out to
screen.
be.
It's yeah,
Um,
it's not that hard. It's not that hard. But
so yeah, I will say I do understand on some level, like, because I will say if I'm like, oh, what movie am I gonna watch tonight? I'm like, I just kind of want to chill. I just kind of want to chill. I'll be like, okay, probably not insert blank whatever foreign film I've been wanting to watch. Because sometimes I'm like, yeah, I do just want to chill. Maybe not pay super close attention to
Oh
whatever I'm
yeah, yeah,
watching,
no, that's not.
which I
Yeah, these
understand.
shows aren't for these
But it's
shows and these
like
films.
at some point, like you're gonna want to pay attention to a show. Like you're not always just you don't always need something mindless in the background.
Exactly.
So it's really not asking a lot, and I feel like it's just I don't know. I hope it would be interesting to see what percentage of people are using the English dub, but
You want to know the fucked up thing with it though? It defaults to English dub.
it does, and that I think well I don't think it did like I think sometimes it depending on your whatchamacallit, like your viewing habits,
Mm-hmm.
I think it may change, but I know because like whenever I first started watching the show Elite on Netflix, um when I first started watching that, it was playing in an English dub.
Yeah.
And it's a Spanish show, and I was like, "What? Like why would you do that? Why
That
would
yeah,
you do
that's
that?"
that's a weird like first case thing, like to go there first as opposed to have it in the original and it's like okay, you have the option to change it.
Right, and I
That's
feel
what I
like
would have gone for.
that is just another thing like okay, Netflix like Netflix is already trying to make this as accessible for Americans as possible, like with the easiest entryway. And it's like it's a Korean show, but guess what? You don't have to watch it in Korean. And it's like, okay, well, so you're literally just trying to take everything about what this show is out of it. Like, and even just watching the English dub, like just the clips I've seen,
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is bad.
I just
Like,
don't
this is
understand
just
why English
bad.
dubs are like almost always bad.
It's horrible. It's
Like,
really, really bad.
oh my gosh, like they never get the emotion right and it's just the inflections are all weird. And like look, I understand them not matching because obviously it's some white dude and not a Korean guy, right?
Right.
But like it's just like at least like read the facial expressions, read the inflection, the tone.
Yeah.
Like that's what they should be doing with that. I don't know. It's just it's kind of it's a larger thing in the dubbing industry as a whole than
Hmm.
necessarily just being to this show specifically, but yeah,
Right.
it's definitely something that should be fixed. And it's also like I will always find it harder to watch a dubbed thing when there's real people talking. If it's like a cartoon, if it's
Yeah.
animated, yeah, the mouth movements are never going to be exact, so it's like
Hmm.
you can kind of cheese it.
You
But
can.
when it's real people's mouths, if you didn't know, make very particular movements for particular sounds. So
And it's
it
easy to
looks
tell
weird and it's that
when
disconnect.
it's off.
But yeah,
Yeah. I
a
hope
lot of issues.
a lot of issues. I am trying to become less cynical and jaded about things, but I genuinely hope people go out and find more content and become more open to foreign language content
Oh
going
yeah, no.
forward. Um, and we will see. We will see.
We will
But
see. I think, like I said, I think we're on a trend towards that. I think the popularity of a lot of foreign language content has been like a very positive look thus far. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see in the coming years. I think we'll really find out in due time.
time will
Who
tell.
knows? Maybe we'll have another number one show on Netflix that's not in English in a year or two. So who knows? Who knows?
Maybe.
Stranger Things Korean edition.
Don't need that.
Don't do that. That shit's dumb. That shit's
Yeah.
dumb. When
No.
you just rehash the same shows in
No.
or in the same movies but do it in a different language. That shit's stupid. Don't
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 do that.
do that.
Give
But
us some new content.
yeah, new
And
content always. And like Americans are like the worst at that, obviously.
we are. We love our spin-offs and
Yeah.
reboots. And speaking of spin-offs, we can talk about an upcoming spin-off
Yes.
from the popular Marvel TV show, WandaVision.
Yes. WandaVision. We are getting a full Agatha Harkness series coming up. This happened to drop right after the podcast last week. Very upsetting, but they like to do it to us.
They always do that to us.
Of course. So, now, according to this Variety article, a WandaVision spinoff starring Catherine Hahn is in development at Disney Plus from Marvel Studios. Variety has learned exclusively from sources. Hahn would reprise the role of Agatha Harkness in the series, which is described by sources as a dark comedy. Makes perfect sense, though exact plot details remain under wraps. Now, definitely an exciting bit of information for us to get. Obviously, I think I can speak for both of us and majority of fans in saying that Catherine Hahn was one of the best parts of WandaVision. Fantastic. And really, really, really will love to see what she's going to do in the series, how they're going to go about this, how this is going to tie into the larger MCU scope, whether this will be more of a one-off thing on its own, or if it's going to tie in more, bring in some other characters potentially that we'll be seeing in the future. Because obviously, as we've seen, most of the stuff that they're doing has very heavy tie-ins to the larger MCU. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to work in. So, who knows? And I don't remember if we ever talked about this before, but just kind of a quick aside, how reliant are they going to be in bringing things in TV shows, because they don't want to essentially hide majority of the lore behind a paywall of Disney Plus, having had to have seen the Disney Plus series in order to understand the MCU as a whole. So,
I mean,
that's definitely a tough question that has been thrown around a lot. But that's,
and I think I don't know. Going forward, it seems like, I don't know, especially with Loki, it seems like maybe
they're pretty heavily reliant on it.
Yeah, they're not really concerned about, establishing these bigger stories on Disney Plus. So I don't know. They might just go full steam ahead.
Yeah, it really is starting to seem like that, especially with how they've handled WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Loki thus far, and What If too, because especially those are supposed to have some sort of impact on the greater MCU.
And I mean, looking at like something like Miss Marvel, who is obviously going to play a role in the Captain Marvel sequel.
Yeah.
So,
and then She-Hulk supposedly bringing stuff in, and fucking what's it called? And Hawkeye bringing some stuff in as well. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see over the next couple films how they handle that, and whether or not, I think during the next team up movie, we'll really get to see, it's like, okay, did I had to have seen these shows in order to get a better understanding of what's going on here? Right. Or is it like, you could have skipped out on them and you would have been fine enough? That's just a quick aside. But back to the Agatha series, super excited.
I'm so
excited.
I genuinely have no clue what the premise could possibly be.
Yeah, that's been the one thing, because obviously at the end of the series she was, zapped back into the Agnes kind of persona.
Right.
And like locked there permanently. But how is she going to get out? What's going to happen? Is Wanda going to come back for the series? Who knows?
But it's exciting nonetheless.
Exactly. And I'm happy to see her back in it. Obviously, really, really didn't want her to be a one-off character that wasn't going to return, because she's fucking hilarious in this show. Yeah. And I mean, we'll have to see. I remember seeing one thing. I didn't watch the video or read the article, but they were saying how this could be how they tie in the Fantastic Four, which I would be excited to see.
At this point, people say, this is how the MCU is going to tie in Fantastic Four. This is how they're going to tie in
Yeah.
mutants. This is how they're going to da.
Everything is Fantastic Four.
I'm exhausted
No, but
at this point,
one
only because I was also someone who tried to subscribe to
Theorize.
certain beliefs that, oh, this is how they're going to introduce mutants. I don't care anymore. They're
Yeah.
going to introduce mutants when they introduce mutants. And I genuinely don't think they're going to introduce the Fantastic Four until their origin movie. And I feel like introducing the Fantastic Four in an Agatha Harkness,
Yeah, that makes no sense.
yeah, it makes no sense at all. Yeah. So
That one's a weird one. And also like the mutants one, that's a weird ass.
yeah,
That's
the
weird
mutants,
because
I did think at least WandaVision, it seemed like maybe that was when that was
when they
going
brought
to
in
happen.
Ralph Boner.
But they brought in Ralph Boner. And also, because of what was going on, what happened with Monica,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe this is their way in, But these are all very rational things. Saying that the Fantastic Four could get introduced in the Agatha Harkness series makes no sense. Please touch grass.
That one's.
Yeah, it's
I love it,
happening.
but I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking mutants is far as fuck away because they've made no indication of bringing in any sort of X-Men property
None
anytime
whatsoever.
soon. Like the only we've gotten a Fantastic Four little tease that's
We've got an
eventually
announcement
coming.
and a director, and we know that's coming. Mutants.
Yeah.
I mean, did Kevin Feige say something?
I think he
said
name
something about
dropped
mutants, right?
He name
Yeah.
dropped mutants, but nothing concrete.
Yeah.
That's
so
the thing.
until then,
we'll
wait.
see. But this Agatha show, very exciting, and we will. I don't think they've given any indication of when that's going to happen, right?
No clue.
Yeah, but who knows? I will be ready for it, and that's gonna be exciting. But we do have some more Marvel news that recently we got some insider information that Will Poulter has been cast to play Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is an interesting choice. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. I love Will Poulter. People are being weird about it, though.
I am like, here's the thing. If you look at this picture that they have right here,
This is a good picture
of him, he could be Adam Warlock.
Yeah, no, this is a really good picture of him. To be Adam Warlock, yeah. You can make the case.
Is a
lot
great
of people are saying like, oh, he's not attractive, therefore he shouldn't be.
Y'all are mean.
Yeah, that's pretty mean. That's pretty mean. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say he's hot or anything.
I mean, obviously he's not the most I don't know.
He's not the hunkiest hunk of chocolate.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, he's not. I can't even think of whatever.
Actually, speaking of which, apparently Regé-Jean Page was in the running for it as well. I think I saw something like that, which that would have been awesome.
That would have been interesting.
But
I do feel like, I don't know. I feel like Will Poulter does. He fits this better. Also, just because I can't see Regé-Jean Page kind of beefed up, I guess.
I don't know, beef him up, man.
Maybe he
is
can
Will
get beefed
Poulter
up,
built
but
like
I feel
that though?
I feel like he can get built like that.
I guess so.
I feel like I could see him.
But at the end of the day, he's a fantastic actor. So
he is. He's an amazing actor.
I'm very excited to see what he does with it. We've been waiting to see Adam Warlock for so fucking long. He's been teased in both of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah.
Everyone was speculating that we'd get him in the Infinity War and Endgame at some point.
Right.
Which, looking back, was
I
a
never
weird time.
subscribed to that belief.
I mean, but it was just comics. Andy's just going based off, oh, it's what
Yeah.
happens in the comics, man. He beat up Thanos' ass, so he needs to be in
Everyone
the
always,
movie.
everyone always. That's what I'm saying. Please touch grass. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna keep like, please. Um,
Hey,
yeah.
let people enjoy shit.
People enjoy it. Whatever. Like I said, this is the cynical Noah episode. Okay,
We're getting a lot of cynical Noah in this episode.
I'm just yelling at everyone.
Old man yells at cloud.
Yeah, basically that's me this episode. But I'm so excited to see Adam Warlock, and I'm excited to see Will Poulter in the MCU, and it'll be really interesting because this is gonna be like the conclusion of the Guardians trilogy.
Yeah.
So, this movie is probably going to set up whatever happens next, whether this is, whether they decide to form a new Guardians,
Right. Whether they
and
go
move forward with that or
the Nova route or what
they
have
go
you.
Nova, yeah. But it's like, Adam Warlock isn't a character you introduce for a movie and then
dip,
never see again.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'll be really interesting to see what happens with him in this movie and going forward. I think I'm just excited for Guardians in general because I think, following everything in Endgame and Infinity War, it's going to be really interesting to see where that team goes from here.
Oh yeah, exactly. I don't remember. Is it like semi-confirmed that we're gonna get Thor in this movie? Technically speaking, I don't know to what capacity,
sure.
but like obviously you think at the end of Endgame they were kind of all like buddy pal.
Well, the thing is, because Star-Lord's in Love and Thunder, so
and that's coming out first, right? Because that's coming out.
It's coming out next year. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Guardians 3 is not until 2023.
Right, but we do have the Guardians holiday special, which
is
supposed to, tie in and is actually going to play some role. It's not just like a cute little
like a cute
one-off, whatever. So yeah, once again, we know nothing. We're just speculating, having fun.
Not touching grass,
but not going off the rails. We're not going off the rails.
Nah, bro, it's Mephisto. It's fucking Mephisto.
God. Oh my God.
Yeah, y'all Mephisto theory motherfuckers need to stop.
They needed to touch grass. They really needed to touch grass. Oh my gosh.
Dude, they brought it back for fucking No Way Home, and I'm like, God, stop. Stop. You think they're going to bring Mephisto, the Sinister Six, Toby, and Andrew? Like, come on.
Come on.
Like, you think this movie's going to be a year long. Like, what? You want to fit all that shit in and have it make sense? Fuck, man.
And speaking of Spider-Man, I did see Venom.
You did finally see
Monday.
Venom. Okay.
Yes.
You know what? We can talk about it now.
Shit.
Spoiler.
And what did I expect?
I mean, okay, it's not a great movie. It's not a great movie.
No.
And
no.
The more time I get away from it, the more I'm like, yeah, I do prefer the first.
Somehow I prefer the first to this.
It's just the fucking script writing and the story is a little bit clunkier in this one.
It's so not funny. It's aggressively unfunny. And it wants to be funny so bad.
I don't know. I had a good time with it at some points. I think the action sequences were cool. Could have been cooler.
I feel like
wish we got more carnage
to be desired.
It did.
I feel like it needed more carnage, and somehow needed there was very little of Venom being Venom. Like it's just all this whole this whole Venom concept and the whole thing they built this franchise on is just like Venom and Eddie, and it's just like this weird relationship that they have, and they argue with each other, and they don't get along,
their couples
and they don't
therapy.
like each other. Yeah, and I'm like, this is so boring. Like this is really the concept that someone came in with to pitch a Venom movie, and they were like, We're
going with it.
We're going with it. The only light at the end of the tunnel for this franchise is that, obviously there's going to be an appearance in No Way Home, and maybe somehow after connecting it to a larger universe, like I'm sure after this they're probably going to go back to, whatever regular whatever, but maybe somehow this character will become more interesting. I'm sorry, Eddie Brock's not interesting. Venom is not like I'm just not with the comedy. I don't like the comedy route that they went in. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work.
There you go. There you have it, folks. He hated Venom.
There. I had to get it out. And once again, like I said, this is the Noah ranting episode.
Exactly.
So
Noah is angry today.
I'm angry today.
He didn't
But
take his normal pills.
I didn't. I'm angry today.
He's Hulk Noah.
Mad
right
at the
now.
world.
He is very angry right now. But now to your point about connecting it to the MCU now, obviously the end credits scene, he's in the MCU now, apparently, or in the MCU universe timeline now.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we've already gotten hints of that based on the Morbius trailer, because obviously Michael Keaton's Vulture showed up in there.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, yeah, the universes are connected now. And it's good to see Sony playing nice. I think obviously we taught, like, before, when there was the whole deal with, Sony might potentially take the rights of Spider-Man back post Endgame. Now that they're playing nice, and I'm assuming we got like a really good deal out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And now Venom can cross over to the MCU, and Tom Holland can be in the Sony movies and whatnot. The multiverse just opened up a lot of different shit. So we'll have to see. I'm kind of the conclusion that I don't know that we see Venom in No Way Home. I don't know. It's like
But then what was the point of even doing that?
Just to set it up for like to come. I don't. Okay.
There's no way. There would literally be no point.
My thing is I don't know to what extent he would be in No Way Home. I don't
think he'll play a big role, but an appearance for sure.
Because a lot of people are saying if they are setting up a Sinister Six in it, then you've got Electro, probably Vulture's gonna come back, Green Goblin,
Doc Ock,
Venom. Oh shit, there's only one more, huh? And then we got Scorpion in that end credits scene. You could also bring back Donald Glover, get the Prowler in there.
Please bring back Donald Glover. I've literally been wondering.
I just feel like it's hard with Sony because they have the Into the Spider-Verse now. Because I don't know what the rights issues are with that, but
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine too because he's dead in that universe. So let's get Donald. Let's get the Don in here.
Plus, it's like that's just voice acting anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like character rights, like
I
character rights are weird, man. But
it's fine. Give me Donald.
Yeah, either of those two or a new one. Who knows? But I guess I could see
Venom is definitely. Also, there was that whole picture with Tom Hardy where he was literally wearing the No Way Home hat. Yeah. There's literally no way Venom's not in the movie. There's simply no way. I would put $200.
I don't know.
Down.
I don't know what my logic was originally because it's been so far disconnected and I've thought about it more. But my logic originally was like, I don't know. I think a post-credit scene. That was like my thing. But now I'm like, if they are doing Sinister Six, then it would make sense. I don't know though. That's gonna be interesting to see. Hopefully Sony actually makes some movies about interesting characters. Cause like I'm gonna be completely blunt. I don't give a fuck about Morbius.
It looks bad.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Everything Sony's doing over there looks bad.
Yeah.
I hope they're listening.
Well, they're doing Spider-Verse and that's fantastic.
They're doing Spider-Verse. That's Sony Animation.
I guess. That is technically a separate division. And they're doing the Spider-Man games, which are cool.
Also a separate division.
Yeah, that's Sony games. Or like, I guess I don't know what that would be. Like what the actual subsection is.
Yeah, I don't know what the official titles are and everything.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how this works going forward. Obviously, now Disney's got all the Infinity Stones because they've got the Fox properties. I don't know what properties are even with like outstanding at this point. Like what they don't have the rights to. Because if they have the rights to
Mm,
throw in any of the Sony ones and they acquired Fox, so they have the rights to like the X-Men, Fantastic Four, all that shit.
yeah.
Fuck it, just buy
Um,
DC at this point. Like shit.
yeah. I don't know how their rights are still with Hulk. Um,
Right.
that's the
Because that's still
one.
Universal.
Yeah, I think Universal still owns Hulk. Um, somewhat. Like still has some ownership of Hulk.
Right.
But aside from that, I feel like they kind of
I mean,
got
they've already
most of
kind of
it.
figured that one out, obviously, because we've seen Hulk. We're just never gonna
Right.
get
We're
a
just never gonna
solo,
get that solo movie.
which I don't need it,
I
quite
would like
frankly.
it.
I don't know. It's just like, what are they gonna do with it at this point? That's just my thing. They've
They
already
could
set him.
definitely
They've
come
already
up with.
set him up as like a super side character. Like, it's
I mean,
just
that's the thing. He's just been kind of done dirty in these movies and like powered down,
yeah.
so much. But whatever, it's fine.
That's what I'm
That's
saying. At
another
this
rant for
point,
another
it's
day.
unnecessary. Oh, another rant for another Noah Rant podcast episode.
Another rant for another podcast episode. But at least for this episode, that's going to be it.
No more ranting, Noah. And
No
now
more
let's get Noah in a positive mood and let him talk about some
positive
things that he
mood.
enjoyed this week.
Yay.
Go ahead. I'll let you go first because you need a cheer up.
Yes, some things I enjoyed this week. So I'll start with this movie I watched, this old Ryan Gosling movie called Half Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, watched it, didn't really know what it was gonna be about. I was just like, I miss Ryan Gosling and yeah, need to watch gonna dig into the back catalog now because he's
Okay.
not giving us anything. So yeah, this movie's pretty good. Kinda interesting critique of white saviors and
Ooh.
yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. Um, also watched the Ted Lasso season finale. It was
Oh,
very
damn. I'm
good.
so far behind on that.
Um, yeah, come on, man.
I
But
haven't even started it. So I
it
can't talk.
was yeah. You gotta some stuff
I
to do,
think I'm
but
still paying for Apple TV, so I really do need to check that out.
oh man, yeah. Um, this finale was very good. Nice way to end the season. There's like one storyline that I'm like, I don't know that y'all that sat well with me entirely. But overall, great season, good stuff. I kind of want to watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but that's really. Oh, and then I watched all Squid Games, finished it.
There you go.
Um, so that was what mainly I was watching this week. Um, but for music, obviously, love this new James Blake.
Yes.
Um, quite a lot, which is to be expected. At least from me. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up on my year end list. Last time he dropped an album, it was my album of the year. He also had my favorite EP of last year. So we'll see where he ends up on my year end list this year.
That we
Um,
will.
yeah. So that was phenomenal. I also liked the new Alchemist EP, which I thought was really good. I think it's really really solid. I also think the last one or the first this thing of ours is really good too. I don't know which one I like more.
Right.
It might be this new one, but they're both really good. They're both really good.
Yeah. I
Um
have my reasons for both.
yeah. Yeah, I think they're both really really solid and I've come to like the first one even more with listens and I just yeah, I don't know. But very good. Also this new track that Freddie Gibbs did with some Swedish producers, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Arts and Boogie.
Arts and Buggy. Yeah, it's called Wartime. Um,
I got my. I have my
Never heard of
Spotify.
those producers, but it was pretty good. It was a pretty good track. I mean, Freddie Gibbs does not miss.
Yep.
So yeah. New Mick Jenkins single
Mm.
I liked quite a bit called Contacts. Um, let's see. This new album from Boy Life,
Ah,
who
damn.
I was a big fan of. All the singles coming up to this album. Yeah, his new album Gelato.
Mm-hmm.
That was very good. And I also like the new Don Toliver album.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I honestly think I like it more than Heaven or Hell. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
do.
have to have some choice words with you after this episode.
I am enjoying it. Thought it was good. I thought it was good. Yeah. Oh, also going back to James Blake, he put out a track after the album, Funeral, but this version has Slow Tie on it.
Oh
Mm,
shit.
so
Oh, I
good.
didn't hear that one.
So good. Apparently Slow Tie just didn't send his verse in on time to make the album.
For shame. That very
Yeah.
disappointed in him.
New single from Maxwell Cream. He has an album coming out next week.
Mm.
Yeah. Very excited to hear that. This new single, Greener Knots, is very good. And I finally got to that Loot album, and
Oh yeah.
it was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. So definitely looking out for Loot. Dreamville just continues to make this a pretty stiff competition for TDE.
Oh yeah, no,
Uh,
definitely.
so yeah, lots of good stuff for me this week.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I can see that.
but what about you?
All right. Had a busy weekend, so haven't had too much time to watch stuff, but I got in a couple episodes of Squid Game and
Mm-hmm.
hoping to finish that very soon. And that's pretty much it. Music
Mm-hmm.
wise, I've got a lot.
Mm.
Finally got to that Paris, Texas EP. Very much
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
so
They're
good.
doing awesome shit. Keep going
Mm.
at it. Loved that James Blake album, especially. I know this was a single, but Life is Not the Same. This
Mm.
man, like,
Yeah.
I will say, like, I kind of fell off from the album a bit after listening to it. It's like some of the instrumentals are
Mm.
kind of but his
Really.
vocals are on point 100% of the time.
He is great. He is great. I think his sound has definitely changed. It's a lot less experimental now
Yeah.
from his older work, but
I definitely need to go through Assume Form now.
yeah, Assume Form and this one are kind of like his two more, I don't know, accessible,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
Like his sound has changed significantly
Got it. That makes sense.
on these two, but
Yeah,
still
no,
I'm enjoying it.
I'm
quite a
looking
bit.
forward to going through his back catalog, definitely. I don't know what the fuck you saw in that Don Toliver album. That was so fucking boring.
This guy. It's because you're not
Yeah.
from Houston. You wouldn't get it.
Shut the fuck
You
up.
wouldn't get it.
I didn't like the BB No Money album, but the songs with Rebecca
Mm.
Black was pretty cool.
Oh, I did hear that.
And the
too.
song with Young Gravy was pretty smooth as well. Single from Corday, I thought was pretty solid, and single from
Really?
Seb, God of the Sunset, pretty solid as well.
That Corday track. Oh, it was.
I thought it was solid. No, bro, I love that Dwayne Johnson feature.
Oh my god.
That was. So
I haven't listened.
You
to
haven't?
It
It's
yet. Yeah, I just haven't.
It's for the dads, man. It's for the dads.
I'm excited to finally hear it.
No, but I like that Conway single as well. As I like that
Man, I
McJenkins
wasn't feeling
single a
that one
decent bit
either.
too. Damn, man,
Wasn't
you're off
feeling
it
the
today.
It was just the Conway just felt very like, okay, yeah, this isn't just normal Conway.
I mean, it is normal
doing what he
Conway, which
does.
is why I like it. Like what?
I know. I guess it didn't
Didn't
grab.
excite you? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, and also that Loot album, I was really feeling. Definitely, yeah. Like I said, really exciting to see stuff from him and the stuff coming out from Dreamville in the future. So we shall see. how that goes and whether TDE will even be able to clap back at this point because it's looking kind of hard out here.
It's getting rough.
It's getting rough.
Greenville
But
looks like they're taking the dub for 2021.
yeah, they had 2020 and 2021. Fuck, dude. That's fucking
and
crazy. Wait, when did Revenge of the
2019.
Dreamers come out? Yeah, because that was what
They didn't
even
have
came out in
anything last year.
2020. They had
They didn't have
the director's cut last year,
Oh, I guess.
which I guess that
Yeah.
counts. I feel like we got something from at least maybe not a full length project, but we got some decent singles from them.
I guess.
Anyway, no one took 2020. 2020 was a weird year,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons. But the Freddie Gibbs track also did love that. The Alchemist EP, I will say I enjoy the instrumental vibes on this one more. I like the atmosphere.
It's a lot darker.
Yeah, but I think features wise and just like general performances, I might be more inclined to choose the first one. This thing
It's
of
because
ours
Boldy
one.
James is on it.
And Earl.
Earl, too. This one has Vince.
Yeah, I know that Vince feature was really good.
And
I
Bruiser
really did love
Brigade.
that. I did enjoy the Bruiser Brigade, but like, and I did enjoy all of them. It's tough. I don't know why I feel like a little more nostalgic about the first one
Okay.
from a feature standpoint.
They're
But
both solid. I can't.
they both are extremely solid. New Pink Panther single, very much enjoyed, very
Dang,
good. I must
you
apologize.
listened?
Yes.
I didn't listen, dude. I was like, this
What?
album is 19 minutes long.
Wait, it's an album? Am I?
There's a mixtape coming.
Oh.
I was like, this album is 19 minutes long. I gotta stay away
Shit,
from
I
the
didn't
singles.
know. I didn't know there was a fucking tape coming, but okay.
You've already heard it.
I've already heard most of it, haven't I? Oh well,
Yeah.
I'll vibe with it again.
There's that meme that's like, oh, I went to the restroom during the Pink Panther concert and everyone's gone now.
That's fucking terrible. But no, I did get to this Magdalena Bay album and I enjoyed that quite a decent bit. I don't know. I liked what was going on there. The sound was pretty cool. As far as things I didn't get to that I want to get to, the Bad Bad Not Good album, I didn't get the chance to get to, and now that you mentioned the Boy Life album, I will get to soon. But that is it for me.
Nice.
Nice.
And that's the end for both of us. That's the end of this episode.
That is the end of the episode, folks. You know how it goes. If you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, we do this podcast posted on YouTube. You can see our dumb fucking faces. Look up Neil Owens Podcast on YouTube. Also, if you are watching us on YouTube and you got to listen on the go or whatnot, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, not Booble Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, all those things. Links in the description. And lastly, for both of those groups, we do stream this live on Twitch every Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Yes, I changed the time because we are always late. But folks, that's going to be it. We will see you all next time. Peace out.
Peace.